Do you bleed blue and white? Is your weekly mood dictated entirely by whether we had 10 goals dropped on us in a second quarter at the Adelaide Oval, or if we came from 43 points down to beat a 2026 contender? If you gladly pay the ticket to ride the roller coaster of emotions that is the North Melbourne Football Club, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Roo Boys Podcast. G'day, Roo Boys and girls. Welcome to the first ever Roo Boys Podcast. I think we're just talking to ourselves at the moment, Harls, but yeah, welcome to the show, mate. Exciting to get this thing going.
Very happy to be here, mates, and happy to share some of my sick and twisted Roo thoughts with anyone who will listen.
Well, I think they're definitely more positive than negative at the moment, but I'm sure we'll have our ups and downs, and we can share it for some listeners rather than just while you're driving home from work.
Yeah,
or eating steak in Port Melbourne.
yeah. Or when I'm on a train or getting off a train, coming back from some sort of emotional ruse debacle.
In the fetal position.
Yeah, or
behind platform 28.
Yeah. We're basically just a couple of diehard kangas. You know, we go through all the emotions.
Yeah, we live the ups and downs, and I guess this chat is something that we've done sort of every week for a decade, and it's probably more been a shoulder to cry on sort of situation for the last 7 years.
Yep.
But I think the fact that Harls came up with the idea to do a podcast and actually air what we talk about each week is probably a testament to how the team is going, and there's some good vibes around the Roo Boys at the moment. The way the Kangas are going lately, and you know, seeing the other North pods out there, like your Shinboners guys and Marnes on Kanga TV. You know, we thought, why not put it to the airwaves and, you know, see if we can add something too. So I think it's all part of we're all part of the Roos, and yeah, the more the merrier, I think. So
yeah, it's nice to know that there's other sick individuals in the world as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we have a pretty good dynamic, Harls and I. Obviously both from Victoria, but I'm up in Brisbane these days, and so Harls is the man on the ground at the home games every other week. The Dipper, and I am I guess the analyzer that watches it on TV and has to listen to fucking Jared Healy every week, Ellie.
Yes. And yeah, of which I get many a text about.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we're pretty new to this sort of thing, so we'll see how it goes. And I guess that's a good little introduction. But what better night to start the pod with the news of George Wardlaw signing on again,
mate? It's glorious.
Until 2028. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
Oh, mate. Obviously, like, I think anyone that goes for the Kangas loves Georgie Wardlaw. He just personifies Shinboner to me. And yeah, I mean, it's only 2 more years, but I'm sure there'll be more to come. I don't think any of these boys want to go anywhere. I think they've all been through enough, and you know, it's starting to see the tables turn a bit. And you know, Georgie's getting on that cusp of the games mark that Clarko always speaks about, where you start to see a bit of the action. So the more the merrier.
Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, his last quarter against. We're going to touch on the Suns game shortly, but the last quarter of the Suns game where he just basically had donuts for the first half, and then just decided to go, "No, we might win this."
Yeah, he went full George. Full
Yeah,
George
he
in the
went
last.
Yeah, peak George. But I suppose I don't know whether this is better than George Wardlaw signing on or not. I'll probably let you get your thoughts on it, Harls. But I probably wanted to touch on Brad Scott's departure from Essendon on the same weekend that Pendlebury beat Boomer's record that he never should have beaten.
Wow. I mean, it's redemption 10 years in the making, isn't it? Because, not that we wish any ill will to Brad Scott, going to put that out there, but, I did call it as part of my dream weekend. I was kind of hoping the Pies lost as well, to be honest with you. But
You were 10 points off your dream.
Yeah,
your dream weekend.
That's right. So, but no, happy Pendles is a great player, but I wouldn't say I'm upset that Brad Scott's,
well,
been in the arse.
Boomer definitely had another 20, 30 games in him.
Mate, I reckon he had 2 seasons. He had 450 for sure, and then bloody hell, he was
going. He went back to Heidelberg and was doing, AFL 2003 numbers, kicking 15 goals and having 70 possessions a week.
Yeah, he was playing on amateur on the game, and just NBA Jam style. Just he's running hot.
Smoking redhead, smoking Joe Mercedes. I remember that. That's probably telling the listeners our vintage. But the last thing I will say on Brad Scott is I watched. He's a very good talker. He's very he can talk his way out of anything. And from listening to the video on the AFL website, I was actually by the end of it. I didn't get to the end of it, but by towards the end of it, I was convinced that Brad Scott was going to be the next Essendon coach. He was. He talked me right into it. He's got it all worked out. So,
well, I mean, it's between him and James Hird, I think, and they're the front runners. So if they bring him back, I mean, he's got a great relationship with Josh Caddy, because I think he thinks he's his son. There's no family resemblance, but there's definitely some talk there. But I watched a little bit of it until I started nodding off. I love the Ben Mackay question. I don't know if you got that far.
I don't know whether I did. No.
They asked him was it hard to drop Ben Mackay or whatever? And he come up with his convoluted answer about how it was better for him and all this sort of shit. I mean, Ben Mackay was flying for marks with his feet and kicking it with his hands. So he had to get fucking dropped, didn't he?
That's Essendon's plight is definitely part of the reason that all of us are sort of up and about at the moment, I think, as well. Because I think anyone who knows that history, 150 years ago, it's certainly, I know whenever I speak to you, you're always got the Bombers game in the diary. So
I know, and I couldn't actually make it this year, the one that we actually won. I reckon I would have been, I would have been shitting myself, to be honest. But I'm a bit gun shy of them second time around because we've seen Carlton's form after sacking a coach. So I don't take anyone lightly being a North fan.
No, I think the West Coast game in round 2 definitely highlighted that and
brought us right back down to earth.
Oh, did it what? And they've had a couple of good scalps now. So anyway, but probably just to touch on the Suns game, I'll let everyone else, all our mums and dads listening, in on the text that Harley sent me. I reckon he was halfway out of Marvel Stadium on Saturday.
I never leave.
You texted me saying we're doing the pod this week. because we were gonna
right.
start.
I thought you were meant the one in the first quarter when I said that we're fucked.
Yeah, no, there was there was that one too, but no, it was we were going to get started after the bye and do a bit of a preview pod for the Fremantle game and the WA, the WA tour. But yeah, there's just too much good stuff going on at North at the moment to not start and give this whole thing a crack. So, so just to touch on the Suns game, Harls, what was it like? I guess on the ground, you just touched on that. What you thought of it in the first half, and I think we were all the same.
Yeah, so I was about as flat as the team in the first half. Yeah, it was hard to, especially coming off the week before. I was expecting an energetic team to come out, and it just didn't feel like it. We couldn't get a centre clearance. Gold Coast kicked everything. Certainly couldn't get a free kick, which is a pretty common theme, from a North Melbourne perspective.
That's a whole pod in itself.
Yeah, that's Pandora's box. But it was pretty glaring in the first half, and it just sort of felt Groundhog Day-ish. And then obviously once the second half started, I don't know, it just felt like there was a bit of different energy from the team. They didn't lose belief, and then just slowly but surely just kept creeping back, even though like Gold Coast would, always get that goal to keep us at arm's length. They just kept coming, which is just that's just not a trait of North teams from years past. So just felt a bit different. And then obviously the last quarter, I mean, I hugged a lot of people that I don't know on Saturday, put it that way. There was a lot of hugging going on.
I wish I was there. But it was what you were saying earlier. It is a real sort of, I guess, theme of this, not theme, but characteristic of this team this year is that we don't lie down, and not only have we got, barring a couple of quarters, not only have we had the resilience to come back from 6 to 8 goals down at times, the fact that our momentum gets killed multiple times during that comeback, and they just keep going. Heads don't drop. If you look at the Carlton comeback and the Suns comeback, they both kicked multiple goals to sort of, put us away when we had all the momentum, like that Ewan goal on the weekend.
Oh, mate!
But they just go, you know what, crack in, get the next centre clearance, and we'll just keep pushing, and they go right to the end, and they did it against Adelaide, and they did it against. They were still trying even at the end of the Geelong game. It was so no, it's just really pleasing to see, and I've watched paid much more attention to football this year than I have in the last sort of couple of years anyway, just because you know what you're going to get and they're worth the watch.
Yeah, well, I think I'm paying more attention to other sides as well, because there wasn't too many sides that I talk myself into thinking that we had a chance before I go there. But that's just natural, like game day buzz, give yourself a reason to get up and about. And but there's certain, there's days that I've gone there knowing that we're not gonna get the 4 points, and just hoping not to get flogged. And when we actually do get a bit of a touch up this year, I was in Geelong for that one, completely talked myself into that one. That was a bit of a shock, which is, it's much nicer than it being the norm.
Yeah. I was going back through, because my eldest is my 6-year-old's getting right into the Kangas now, and he's a bit of a Rain Man with the numbers, and he wants to see what, how we went in 2023. And I'm trying to get him. He's been a Kangas member since he was born, like everyone has, and all my kids have. But yeah, they going back and doing a bit of a retrospective, those 2021, 2022, like that sort of period, and
Dark days.
but no, but just to basically what you're saying about talking yourself into a game, there was some of those games that I remembered where I was going, oh, geez, I remember you and I spoke about this and thought, oh, we were okay. And we've been done by 75 points.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I like, so that the quality of what we're receiving as North Melbourne members or supporters now is just, I think what we're getting what normal footy supporters sort of get.
Oh, I know. Like, there's a level of PTSD in all of this, I think, from like, it's silly how much we love like this team in general. Like, it's
disgusting.
It's disgusting. Like what they do. Like, I planned my whole life around the North fixture. Like, someone asked me if I could do something. I'll say, I'll blame it on my missus. I'm like, I'll just check with the missus, but I just checked the North fixture to see, because she knows I'm going to the footy if the footy's on. She couldn't give a fuck about what I'm doing on the weekend. She just, Harley about the footy sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I generally just check the fixture, and that's like, oh yeah, I can come to your wedding. I can, I can birth your child or whatever it is they're asking me to do.
Yeah. It's a great. I'm so lucky with my boys. Who I said earlier, 6-year-old and 4-year-old, and living in Brisbane. It's very, very challenging with the Oz kick at the school, ramming everything down their throats, which I think it's a great, it's a great tactic. That's a one club town, so they're at Oz kick. They're giving out the Lions bags and the footies and stuff, and every footy or bag he gets from Oz kick, I've got one coming from the Roo shop in the mail, just hoping it gets here before the other one does.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell them not to go for Brisbane when they get older, but I'm just hoping, because we live here, but I'm just hoping that I get them now. And, Freddie was very upset during the Adelaide second quarter that was mentioned at the top of the show. And that actually made me, I was like, oh, maybe he's a Kanga.
Well, imagine if he went for Brisbane, he would have been even more upset last week. 14 goals in a quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on.
They are worse than us, really, when you think about it.
I mean, when you break it down to just quarters, I mean,
and we touched them
just
up.
Maths.
We touched them up earlier this year, and I tell you what, if the umpires didn't swallow the whistle every time the Ashcrofts got the footy, we might have been a bit more of a chance in that game. But
I reckon, Will Ashcroft and Matt Rao went to the same handballing school. That's for sure.
You can handball left hand, you can handball right hand, you can even handball no hands these days.
That's it. So that's called a cock ball.
That's it. And I'll tell you what, Rao, when I've watched, I think it was about the 25th time I watched the last quarter of the Gold Coast game this week, when I watched Matt Rao just smash his jumper after kicking that goal, after he piffed it out and he got the footy back.
He threw it like an NFL star.
Yeah, and I just go, it's just satisfying because I know what happens. It's same as when I see Harry Mackay kick the last goal of the third quarter on the Good Friday game. When I've watched that if it was the old VHS days, that tape would well and truly have been done and dusted.
It wouldn't work anymore.
We got a new favourite game now for the first half.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll Kanga's up and about. The Suns game was great. Well deserved rest now before the WA games. And I guess I was thinking we could have a look back, and we already sort of have, on rounds 1 to 11. And I guess just get your thoughts on what's, obviously there's going to be the main game, probably the Good Friday game, but the game that sort of stands out in the first half of the year, and the player, and probably where the team's improved.
I mean, look, Good Friday was incredible just because of the crowd that was there. It was rapturous. Obviously the weekend was much very similar feeling. So, although I didn't think we were going to win until we won on Saturday, and I just didn't doubt we were going to win against Carlton. To be honest, I just thought we had them, and like that they'd fade out. But I don't know. Like in terms of, I mean, for me, like the standout player in general, it's probably LDU.
Gone to the next level.
I feel like he has, and like that goal on the weekend, set shot. I know it's like
he'd miss that. He'd miss that every day of the week.
Exactly. I mean, I've watched the last 2 minutes. I don't know how many times this week. Just if I'd all have a 2 minute, spare period, I just flick it on because it's just joyous. Like it just fills my everything I need tick to get on with good stuff. Like
it's good.
The heart is full every time I say it, and like I feel like him kicking that goal, and especially Durs hitting him up. I love that. Like him just kicking that straight to the high diddle. I don't feel like he would have done that even last year, to be honest. I feel like he would have gone off the side of the boat. And that's maybe not giving him enough credit, but I don't know. Like he just, the way he's stepping out of traffic, it does feel like he's gone to the next level. And then, I mean, the emergence of Foss. It's like we all thought we had something special last year, just his composure and stuff like that. But now, like we speak about George's last quarter, but Foss was just as good. Like those boys were just waxing in the last quarter and just involved in everything, and just the composure and the leadership and everything, included with LDU and Shees. Like Foss.
She's has just got a real see about him this year, hasn't he? Like it's just
mate.
He's in, like just his tackling and his aggression, and he gives a fuck. Like that's it. Just really, you can tell.
And he's not probably, because he just gets 30 for fun. Like I think he's averaging 31 disposals or something like that. And he's not. They're not cheapies on the back flank. Like he's in the cold face. He's links in the chain.
He busts his gut on the transition. Like he was in that spot so many times in the second half.
Yeah,
on the weekend,
I feel like he's tough as fuck, to be honest with you. Like he's clearly gotten bigger. He's stronger in the tackle, which is, I feel like we're noticing that from a lot of them.
No, that's it. But I agree. And I actually met Foss when I went down there the other week I'm down there for work a fair bit, and I got a photo because he's my 6-year-old's favourite player, and he did say, are you Willow that won the 2011 reserves goal kicking at Kenmore? I said I didn't know you were. I said I didn't know you were across Queensland, footy, but I said that it is me, and
yes, it's lovely to meet a fan.
Yeah, so I signed his shirt and I said, good luck this weekend, and then we got absolutely belted by Adelaide. And that was when Griff went for the handshake, and I accidentally was walking away, and I ghosted him, and I reckon it was just bad omens from.
That's why he had a shit game. You reckon he was just like?
I think it's up. I think it's up there.
Why didn't Willow shake my hand?
I do feel a little bit responsible for that one, but anyway, who cares about the Adelaide game? I guess for me, for the first half of the year, you've pretty much touched on all the main ones, and I think the big one for me was probably, I'm going to talk about round 1 against Port.
Well, don't mention he who shall not be named.
No. I was actually going to introduce George Wardlaw as the best number 6 since the Kangas.
Don't say
it. Sorry. I'll edit that out. But yeah, the Port game, for that reason exactly that you mentioned. But also on top of the fact that we've never had a game plan or a any sort of structure that you can sort of pick from the team, or our organisation has never seemed to be there. It's so up and down, and then in that game we just played 4 pretty perfect quarters of footy, and even though I was on edge the whole time because we don't trust North, or we gaining more trust now. But in that round one, when you go back and watch it, we just never looked like we just completely had them on toast the whole game, and we were structured and disciplined and all the it was just that was the big thing to stand out for me, and that probably leads into the team improvement is the structure, and then what you mentioned earlier, the effort. We're both talking about the effort, just that what they're going to bring. They've 2 quarters have been pretty shit this year, really, when you think about it, and that's just compared to 2 quarters that were good, in the last couple of years. So no, I think that's the big ones for me. And then in terms of players, you talked about Durs. I think that's just a really good example of the young blokes that have, starting to believe and are going to stick around. By all reports, he's going to stay, sign on, touch wood. And that's just, our clubs lately. Our club hasn't been a club that brings the young players with the rest of the senior blokes. Like you got your Geelongs and Sydneys that have this great club culture, and an average draftee will go to these places and become an All-Australian, whereas we never seem to get the development out of our younger players. And I think that's the sort of thing that's going to start happening now. And look at Dersman, how much he busts his gut now, and how hard he works, and how he's not getting the touches, but he's kicked what he must have kicked.
I think he's kicked 16. Yeah, he's kicked 16. But I just always thought he was an AFL footballer. It's fair to say his work rate has lifted exponentially this year, but I still feel like he wouldn't get much more than, 10, 15 posies in the Magoos unless he's playing in the guts. But if he's playing as a forward in the Magoos, he's going to get the same amount of ball. He's probably going to kick the same amount of goals, but he's just an AFL footballer. His skills and, he's serious X factor. And I just feel like having him in the forward line just complements the rest of them so much better. I love that he's played every game so far. I hope it stays that way. I heard some pundits this week saying that he had a quiet game. I feel like it was even Joe Montagna on Saturday when I did the rewatch was saying he'd had a quiet game, and I just thought he'd had a brilliant game. Everything he was involved in was good. He just has a knack of popping up at the right time. Obviously kicked a clutch goal in the last, laced up LDU. Yeah, just I don't know.
And he plays the team game now. He put you saw him. There was moments there where he led hard to pull defenders away. I think it was when Parker hit Foss. He pulled 2 blokes to the wing, just busting his gut out to the boundary line.
He's getting a lot of unrewarded running that
definitely
he will get rewarded for, the more the season goes on and the more the years go on. He's got serious star potential, that boy.
Yeah, and his headband is fucking cool, and so's Jai's. I'm all about it.
I'm down with it. Down with it.
So that's I guess that's a bit of a good rundown of the first sort of rounds 1 to 11. I still can't believe we've won 5 games.
I feel like it was
11.
At the end of the day. I feel like it's probably a pass, considering that when we started the year, we were hoping for 10 games. We wanted double digits.
Yeah.
So halfway mark, you're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
I hope that I don't want to get get all full.
Don't do it.
No. But there's plenty on the table coming up that should be winnable. But I'm very wary of a lot of teams, even that we've beaten second time around.
Yeah, they can't start drinking their own bathwater because I think, and that's probably the good thing about that round 2 game against West Coast is that's the archetype where you go over there thinking you're
hot shit. Yeah,
you're going to get done. So
yeah, and even the honestly, I don't know if it was any of the case against Adelaide, but I feel like it's a great reality check. Like it's a shit way to have to view it, but it's still a good reality check that, hey, if you are as a small percentage off your game and your effort and all that sort of stuff, then this can still happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess for the outlook for the rest of the year, they're going to have a couple of weeks and head over to WA and play Freo, which I think we'll probably do one next week, a bit more in depth on the Freo game.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just as a overarching thoughts on round 13 to 24, I guess you just touched on that there's some winnable games in there. I've got a good run of sort of 5 or 6, 7 games or something after the Fremantle game.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess is there any players there that you think need to lift for the second half of the year, or any? I suppose we can probably touch on more of the negative sides of our game that need to improve heading into the second half of the year. I suppose we just covered the drinking our own bathwater sort of part of it, but in terms of some, I guess, tactical things that need to change.
Well, I mean, for me, and I think just about every Roo supporter that I come across, like it's the forward entries. Like we've got so many players that are capable and even better on the lead. But there's a lot of it's very stagnant, our forward line a lot of the time, and then like whether it's that or I feel like it's a combination of both things. Like the midfielders are very prone to bombing it in, but I think a lot of the time it's because they're not.
I think we call it protrackering it now. Is that
right?
Yeah, it's called protrackering it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had gotten out of that until the heat was on him on Saturday, and then but it just goes to show you, like, kicking it without a purpose, it just doesn't bode well for you in today's AFL. Like, I thought Sam Collins was going to break all sorts of records on the weekend. He was just on the end of everything. But yeah, so like for mine, it's like that mid forward connection. We've seen it in spurts. Like I feel like that was a lot of the reason that we got back into the game on Saturday. Like was the connection and the entries were better. Like the boys were lowering their eyes, and
Jai's kick to PC was
look, Jai was brilliant
awesome
all day. For mine, he was best on Saturday.
It's probably worth mentioning Jai actually, because I think he was easy to be a bit of a whipping boy after what happened last year, but I think I reckon there'd be a few clubs that his management spoke to at the end of last year that might be looking at him now going, geez, like he does have another level when he's happy and he's up and about and his head's in it.
I don't think he's going anywhere now, mate.
I don't think he is. I just think he had no interest at the end of last year because he was playing. He was doing okay on the wing, but he was also, as a whole year, he was sort of just felt like cruising a little bit. But this year, he's got a real purpose, and he's buying in with all the boys.
Well, like I think, Jai's he's in the same boat as a lot of the boys that have been there for a long time. They genuinely just want to win. Like you hear Cam at the end of the game, he's just kick the winning goal, like it's every kid's dream. And they ask him about whether he wants to play forward or back, and he just says he doesn't give a shit because he just wants to win. And I feel like Giles has got the same attitude. Like I genuinely feel like a lot of these boys that have been through the real hard times, like you got your Sheezers and even like PC to some extent, like you haven't even played 100 games, whereas like. Cam's just played his 150th, and like he's probably got one of the worst win percentages of all time as a player. But so I lump a lot of those boys in together. But I just feel like they're all mates. They all love each other, and they just want to win, and they want to win at this club. It's not, it's not a Zach Merritt situation. I feel like Jai and Zach Merritt were two very different situations. Like Jai was probably positionally frustrated, and I think he had some things going on in his personal life and whatnot that was triggering his decision. And but I feel like North Melbourne's home to Jai, and
Merritt was the Mr. Lady from Happy Gilmore. It was like, get me out of here.
Yeah, Jai definitely wasn't in that bag. But yeah, I think Merritt has turned into Mr. again, just quietly.
Yeah, oh geez, I'll tell you what. It brings joy. But we could do we should start another podcast, just an Essendon one.
An Essendon hatred podcast.
But yeah, no, I think you've covered that really well, and I think like we said earlier, the effort's just got to stay there, and I think a couple of the ordinary halves that we played in the lead up to this bye, I'm hoping it's just a bit of fatigue, and they come back with real purpose, because you hear a couple of things on social media about the players all want to play finals this year, and that I think I think they've got the bit in their mouth, and they're going to have a real crack at it. I think they want to get there. So,
well, I mean, like, to make the 10, you're probably talking 11 and 12 wins, I'd say.
Yeah.
And obviously also, not drop it, like not doing Adelaide, because like you see how much that percentage dropped when we got touched
9 points or something, I think it was.
Yeah. And so, look, if they make the wild card, which, I mean, let's be honest, like 6 isn't on the cards unless, like, if 6 is on the cards, fuck. This might be a nude podcast. I don't know. But I mean, the wild card would be an absolute perfect. Like, even if we're 10th, 9th or 10th, like, that'd be a dream. But yeah, just continuing to improve, continuing to get games into the young boys. I'm sounding like Clarko now. I mean, I think key defensive is still a bit of a worry. Like you see on Saturday, when they basically only had the two talls, like it was good with Chom, and Griff probably played his best game of the year, I think. Even though he still had a couple of sketchy kicks. I mean, I don't know. It's
and Chom just gives away free kicks for fun. Like he just gets bored.
Well, Chom personified our whole performance on Saturday. Like,
brilliant second half.
He was shit house in the first, though. Mate, he was brilliant. And I mean, it's a typical North thing. You pointed out to me on the things we learnt on the AFL app. Like, they were mentioning Jed Walter is going to be a massive. Like, the Roos have just had their second biggest comeback of all time, and Chom like literally was like had the sponges. Like, he ran the bubbles at halftime, brought out the bath. He's like, he was washing Jed Walter's back for the whole of the second half, and all they can come up with is, geez, Jed Walter's good.
Yeah, I guess defensively, you're talking about. I think we've all sort of lamented the back line at times this year, but there's definitely a bit of a connection to how the midfield's playing as well, and how fast it's going in, and how structured up we are.
Yeah,
look,
it's
across
better.
The whole ground.
It's better in general. It's better across the whole ground. Like, I feel like the forward pressure, the mids are definitely chasing harder this year than they ever have.
George being in there is huge for that as well.
But all of them, I reckon Jai's like
LDU, pushing back.
You just see him, like, they do those lunging efforts. Like, the whole team defense has improved. But I mean, like, in general, like, a lot of the time, like, disposal does let us down, especially coming out of the back half. But it's all improved. But like, I guess looking forward, it's just keep improving. because it's there for everyone to see. I just want to, you just want to see it more consistently because, as we said on the weekend, even the two-time premier can have a shit quarter. So you take your eyes off the prize and someone can load it on you.
Yeah, I think they've definitely got an air of wanting to achieve something together. This, in the future, and even we know finals is in reach this year if they bring that effort in the second half. So I'm it'll be good to preview the Freo game with you next week. We should have 10 or 15 listeners by then, maybe. I'm hoping.
I don't know if I've got that much family, but we'll
no. We'll try. Well, hopefully we can get some. But if we do happen to get any listeners between now and then, you can drop your questions in the comments and things, and it'll give us some stuff to talk about. If you've got any, if you want to pick our brain on anything and get our thoughts, we might start doing a segment like that in the future pods.
Yeah, sounds good to me, mate. It's always fun to talk Kangas. Looking forward to going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yep, and hopefully we're in for a big second half of the year. Mate.
All
right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.